Hi, welcome to Geekszilla, and today we're going to be reviewing Infinity War.
Hi folks, welcome back to Geekszilla. I'm Gopher, this is Nikki, Mike and Chris, and as we said we're going to be talking about Infinity War.
So if you haven't seen it, stop now. We will be spoiling.
Yeah. What were they thinking?
Terrible ideas. I mean, what were the scriptwriters on? I mean, come on.
They must have been on heroin. I think that's what it was.
But they did come to Glasgow, to Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So they were in Scotland.
Yeah.
So if you don't want any spoilers, this will be spoiler heavy. So turn off, press that button.
We've warned you. You keep going. It's gonna ruin it for you.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll ruin it for us as well.
And they're out the room. Right, okay.
So, what did you think?
As always, I loved it. I mean, it was...
Did you expect anything else?
I was going to say, I'm going to steal a phrase from Return of the Jedi. This is not going to go the way you think it's going to go.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
They actually... I don't find very often that films take you by surprise and actually blow you away, but that did.
Within the first 10 minutes, I knew this was going to be something completely different, because they have to be incredibly confident in themselves and in their storytelling to, spoiler alert, kill one of the most popular characters in the franchise.
Within the first 10 minutes.
Within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He is gone, you know. Loki is the dark horse of the franchise. Everybody seems to love him, and poof, gone.
Yeah.
Going into it, the fear was that you're bringing together all the Marvel characters into it, and they've not all matched up very well, and they've all been very different in the way of their comedy. So you've got the Avengers coming together with Guardians, and especially the way Thor was handled in the last one, that comedy aspect, how was that going to meld? And I think they did it brilliantly.
Yeah. With the amount of characters they had in this, I was obviously worried that how they're going to bring in so many characters into so many places. But I hate to say a film is flawless, because it never is. But I think this one was actually close to perfection, to be honest. There wasn't many bits in it that I felt, they shouldn't have done that. It was pretty much all the way through. I was thinking, yeah, they've done this well. My only gripe I would say in that is it was maybe a little bit too episodic. It's like, hey, we're doing this bit, then we're going to the next bit, and then we're going to the next bit. But they had to do that because of the amount of characters, and they were all in different places and everything else. So
they spread out people enough to give them their own screen time and their own story aspect, and deliver things in a different way.
Well, that's the thing, like, for how many people were in the movie and how many characters, there was a certain aspect where we already know these characters, so it's not like previously on, you were straight into it and straight into the story that they were telling in this particular movie. And because you already know these characters and you already know their motivations, they were still able to give those many characters a very clear and defined story arc. Like, I don't think any of them really were underutilised, you know. Everybody had a very strong story, and then going forward you know what's going to be happening hopefully next.
My only slight disappointment was the lack of screen time for M'Baku, because I loved him in
Black
Panther, and he was just kind of, he was there, but it was just, he didn't get enough line.
And saying that, one of our friends lost his geek card because he's still yet to see Black Panther. So Mac, if you're watching, yes, I do mean you. But I would say, to go into this film, I don't think you really need to see Black Panther. To me, you have to see Thor Ragnarok. It was more of a continuation of that, I would say.
It does pick up right at the very point where that left off. You've got the Asgardians on the ship, and then as that sort of escape vessel is attacked by Thanos' ship, that's where you come into it. So there's very little time obviously passed between the end of Ragnarok and that. But obviously, like, Black Panther's probably happening at the same sort of time on Earth.
Right after, well, I know that I was sort of thinking about it in terms of, do you really need to see Black Panther? And I agree that you probably do, because you get to see his
Let's
little
face
sister.
it, why wouldn't you? And if you haven't, what are you doing?
Stop watching this, go see Black Panther. But you're introduced to T'Challa's little sister, whose name is went right out of my head there. That's terrible. In Black Panther movie, so it's worth it to know who she is immediately. But if you haven't seen Black Panther yet, and the first and only time you've really seen T'Challa is in Civil War, you still understand like his motivations, because the same thing he's still king, he's still in the protector of Wakanda, so you don't necessarily need to see Black Panther, but it definitely makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but if you want to see Wakanda when it being introduced properly, then Black Panther's what you want to see first.
Wakanda still gets its very epic, like going
through the trees and things.
So it still gets that epic moment. But you deserve the epic moment in Black Panther, so
One of the things you said, like, and very few movies come close to being like perfection, but this is that. So one of the things you could say that kind of detracts from it being a perfect movie, it's not a perfect movie for people to watch who haven't watched the other stuff. If you're going to start in the, I don't know anyone who hasn't seen any of them. It's not the starting place.
I've seen posts on friends' walls of, if I haven't seen the movies, it's alright if I go and see this. If I've not seen the previous ones, it's like, no, it really isn't. Yeah. You're going to wreck the storyline for yourselves, and you're just going to go, what's going on? And
it's like seeing Empire Strikes Back and knowing who Luke Skywalker's father is before. In fact, if you watch the prequels, you sort of know who Luke Skywalker's father is. So whatever you do, don't watch the prequels. But it's that type of spoiler, so you really need to see the ones before that. But so what was your thoughts on Thanos? How they did him?
I think he was definitely the main protagonist. Like, I would say going in, and definitely I was thinking going in that the main character of the movie was going to be Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. Thanos got much more of a storyline and much more of a almost understandable motivation than I was expecting.
There was a human element to him. You can see he was an evil tyrant in a way, but also had that sort of human side, if you can call it that, with his daughter Gamora and stuff like that.
It's almost going back to what we said in Black Panther about the protagonist in that. There are elements of what he was trying to do which make sense.
Yeah.
And it's going about it in a weird way, in a wrong way, but at the same time, all he's trying to do is save the world. Save the universe. Yeah. I mean, the only way you can think to do it is to reduce the population sprawl across the universe.
Yeah.
Because our resources are not all.
Yeah. It's not infinite.
They're not. Yeah. It's. I sat there at that point and just went, I can see where he's coming from.
Well, that's the thing.
Whoa.
He's Hitler with a heart.
Demonetization. The thing that I like about Thanos and about the sort of new sort of villains that are coming in is they do have an almost understandable motivation where that's almost scarier because you can empathise with that, and then what does that say to you as a person if you can go, I can see why he did that?
Well, we can see why he did it because
not everything's black and white.
Yeah, not everything's black and white. No, we all know that the problems in the world that we're population and all that sort of stuff. So it's happening. He's just taking a more extreme view of getting rid of it and solving it.
Well, all he's done is he's got this one solve, and that's all he's focusing on.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got this Infinity Gauntlet that who knows what it could do, but it could save the universe in a completely different way. But he's just not accepting that there is another way. He's got this idea. He's focused on it, and that's all he can see.
And he gets it.
He can do anything with the Infinity Gauntlet. That's the point of it. He could make another universe. He could make more planets and stars and
more resources. So it's not
restart all the planet's resources.
But because he's that focused on what he needs to do, and I kind of like that as his motivation as opposed to what it was in the comics, which was because he was in love with death. This is a much more, like you said, human aspect of why he's doing this. It isn't just because of a thing that we can't necessarily understand or relate to. He's so focused on this that I don't think anybody's actually questioned him in a very long time. I think the closest somebody's got to question him is Gamora. But she's so focused on her own pain and her own story, which is to kill him, that she doesn't think that there's another way of maybe defeating him, which is, just talking to him.
Going into the way they handle the story, you've got how they put certain people together. So they put Stark and Doctor Strange together, two of the biggest egos there.
Yeah.
And they faced them two off together.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Star-Lord and Thor together and how they balanced out against each other. The choices they made, the two meek people, Captain America and Black Panther, are sitting together. So they sort of put each of the characters that sort of play off against each other really well. You can get two more meek people than Panther and Cap sitting there and going...
Humble, I think, rather than meek.
I mean, they've already had their sort of battle against each other with Civil War, so there's a depth of relationship there that they don't really talk about, but it's there. Like when Cap says we're going home, and he means they're going back to Wakanda. I think there was a lot in that moment that you might miss if you haven't seen the other movies. But I thought that was beautiful. I thought that was beautiful.
I forgot the end scene in Civil War until I rewatched it on Wednesday when he takes Bucky to Wakanda, and I forgot that actually. And I went back and I saw that and goes, oh my god, of course he took him there at the end of that.
One of the things in Wakanda that was the completion of a story arc for me that absolutely nailed it in the head. The first time we saw Winter Soldier, the first thing that went through my head was Rocket Raccoon going, I want that arm. And it got there.
They done it. It was that was such a beautiful and really sort of it was a moment in the middle of all this battle and all this war, and we don't know what's going on, and really intense, and then there was that slight moment of relief that was really, really well done. I like that a lot.
How much for the gun? How much for the arm? I'll have that arm.
The thing I really liked about Thanos was how he done his power levels, because it was like he was toying with the other Avengers. When he was fighting against like Captain America, for example, it was almost like he's stronger than what I thought, but I'm really going to show him how strong I actually am, and he pretty much swatted him away and things like that.
They did the perfect show on that at the very start, because you've got the whole battle on that spaceship going on. Thor's already been beaten up, everyone's dead, and they're like, there's one thing you don't know, we've got Hulk. Hulk comes charging out, batters Lumps out, knocks him into the wall, and then these bodyguards just gone. Let him have his fun, and then you see the Hulk getting his ass kicked for the first time.
Which I think is why Hulk refused to come out for the rest of the movie.
He was in a huff.
Because he was in a huff, he was like, I am not fighting this dude again. Like,
the Hulk was scared.
The Hulk was scared. Like, when Bruce Banner's going, oh, why are you not coming out? And you just see his face going, no! And it's like, that was proper fear.
I'm wondering as well if that's where we're starting to see maybe Grey Hulk coming in. Because the intelligence is starting to meld, and they're sort of like he's starting to understand stuff. He's starting to think about things, and I think that maybe that's where we're going to see meld there. So you can see the birth of the intelligent Hulk soon.
Yeah. The thing about that, if they go down the comic book line, you ended up working as like a mob enforcer or something like that in Hulk Grey.
I don't think that's going to happen.
But you might see a blending of both, Banner and the Hulk, so you get a slightly more intelligent view on it.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing the Hulk bust rumble was hilarious.
Yeah, that was. I know what you're going to say. That was my only real gripe with the film. Is a scene near the end where you see Banner inside the Hulkbuster. And it looked so fake. It was unbelievable. The CGI was terrible.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it works in 3D.
Yeah.
One of the things I've noticed with some of the CGI shots in 2D films is they're too bright.
Yeah.
And when you go to see them in 3D, it's when they work. It's in the Star Wars movies. The CGI on their faces have been really bright. Then you go see it in 3D, and it sort of panels them down a little bit, and they sort of blend into the film a bit more.
It was almost as if the tracking was slightly off. It's like his body was moving a slightly weird way compared to the Hulkbuster itself and stuff. It just didn't
sit in the right position slightly. I see what you mean. It might be. We have to go see it again in 3D.
Yeah, that's what I was planning on maybe going this morning and seeing it just to see if that was the case. But you might find that because of where the suit's sitting, where he's sitting, that it actually blends in a 3D environment.
But again, that's a very, very small gripe and an amazing film.
Yeah, it did take me out of it a wee bit. Like, I had to giggle. Like, it was such a, at the very end, and it was such a heart-wrenching moment. Like, half of these people that we really care about are just gone, and then you see this wee head. Like, it was like it totally took me out of the moment.
Yeah.
So.
On that note, again, we've kind of skipped ahead a little bit to the bit where everyone disappears, but in case I forget this, my big fear about this thing with everyone having disappeared, like half of the population having disappeared, who the hell's missing out of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah.
Who's going to be gone in that?
Yeah.
That could be though. Timeline-wise, I'm not sure where we're sitting in the current series, but with them not actually being.
But remember, it's across the universe.
Universe.
Yeah, but they're in the future, so they've got to come back to the past. So they may be missing from the timeline, so to speak. They might not be affected by it because they're out of sync.
Or does that mean what's happening in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just now then basically won't happen because they're all going to disappear in the past? And continuity.
Well, Agents have always been pretty good at sort of being running.
Married in, yeah.
There will be a connection somewhere.
Yeah.
So in this film, and again this is a spoiler, so we've had quite a few spoilers already. So
This entire video is a spoiler.
yeah. So the stinger at the end, you see Nick Fury, and you see him sort of disappearing as well. But I'm hoping, because you see him sort of introducing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sort of back into it again, because they've not been in it for a while in the main sort of front. I hope Coulson's going to be in the second version. I really hope Coulson will come back in the second film.
Because
she's missing from
that's
it.
still the sort of question that I have, is the Avengers don't actually know that Coulson's alive.
No, they don't.
And the question I have is he going to come in and hopefully, I hope he does, but if he's going to come back into the MCU and be a big part of it again, because it's Coulson.
I'm clearly in a room who aren't up to date with stuff, and I don't know what they're saying.
No.
Well, I'm up to date with
the next film's in the past.
Yeah,
so
we
the
know
next
that.
film we're going to come into is set in the past.
Yeah.
It's set in 1990. So
Yeah.
a certain
Yeah,
person.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
spoiler, Captain Marvel is it basically like a pager going through time or something like that.
Well, it's a pager, but there's something attached to it,
Yeah.
which in this day and age, why would anyone have a pager unless they're paging somebody somewhere else?
Yeah.
Because
So,
otherwise they'd use a mobile phone.
Yeah.
So the pager's got to be.
a little symbol of Captain Marvel comes up. So.
The idea, obviously we're going to get the movie set in the 90s, but the only way I can really justify it in my head without knowing what's going to happen next is she must be trapped somewhere in the past or whatever, because if she has the sort of combined power of like Hulk and Iron Man, even Thor, I don't know what her power levels are going to be in this movie, if she's always been around but she's coming in at the 11th hour, what justification is that? Why was she not there the entire time? So there needs to be something.
Well, she's linked to S.W.O.R.D., isn't she? So she's defending the galaxy or something? Or from
so.
I believe the Captain Marvel power is one of the cosmic powers in the comic books.
She got it from the Kree.
Yeah, she's got Kree DNA or Kree blood or something.
Oh, right, so are they going to go down the Inhuman line with her then in the movies, do you think?
I don't think so, because they tried to do the Inhuman TV show.
But they're already saying that she has that link in the film.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she's, I believe it's linked to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the sense of that S.H.I.E.L.D. who developed S.W.O.R.D.
Mm-hmm.
So Coulson is in that because it's in the past, so it's S.H.I.E.L.D. and his S.H.I.E.L.D.
So Coulson could be in Captain
Captain
Marvel.
So whether he's going to be in forward going of the MCU is another thing, but he's definitely in the next movies.
I know he's going to be in Captain Marvel, What I meant was in the movies is in the Infinity War movies.
We'll see. No, I can't answer that one because I don't actually know the answer to that. I'm quite excited to see him on film for that. Because he's been brilliant in S.H.I.E.L.D.
So what was your favourite moment in the film? What do you think was the standout moment?
For me, it's the local connection. We were watching, obviously we're in Glasgow, and there's a bit of this is set in Scotland. Now, it's supposedly set in Edinburgh, but there's the outside bit is most definitely in the city centre of Glasgow. And then it goes straight from there someplace into Edinburgh Waverley Station. It's like, that's a bit of a jump, but it's also it's see the Italian centre along by
They filmed a part of it in one of the streets in Edinburgh, because I walked up that street, but then they filmed it, there was a bit with arches, that's where the Italian centre is, I believe, I'm sure that's where they filmed it, and then it jumped to
because
Waverley.
the
It's also
Place
the
is actually in
City Council.
Edinburgh, I believe.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have that poster in the window.
The one that says, we
deep
fry
fry
you
you,
to take
yeah.
kebab.
Yeah, that and somebody went there yesterday and quite disappointed it wasn't present. And they've missed a trick because I put that straight
Oh,
up on
God,
the
yes.
wall.
Yep.
I've seen on Infinity
Yeah.
War.
That
Oh,
would
yes.
be in the window. Probably it will start the one we don't, but
Yeah. So that was your favourite. That was your favourite.
That for me, that is just. I always love it when you see a local connection in movies. It's one of the things that I loved about the bit in World War Z when I saw.
See,
Bits
that
of
takes me
Glasgow
out
in
of the
it.
movie when I recognise it.
Oh no,
No, I
I like
like
it.
it. No, I like it.
Again in Outlander as well, when you see the bits local, that you're like, ah.
That's
I love
nice.
it.
Right, it's right up the street
I
from
think
us.
Yeah.
my favourite moments are the Star-Lord and Thor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he just it's brilliant. When he squares up to him, he deepens the voice, and they're all like, why is your voice deeper? It's always like this. You've done it again!
He's copying me. No, he's copying me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of my. I think that was probably my favourite. I like to. I hope that Chris Hemsworth does. I know he says he's only going to do it if the script's right. But I
Yeah.
hope he does another Thor film in the same vein as Ragnarok. 'Cause to
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
Ragnarok's probably one of the better Marvel
Yeah.
films because
Yeah.
I just like the humour in it, the colour of it. It's very much a comic book film.
It is, and it's not Thor Ragnarok. That was Planet Hulk.
I think I don't know my favourite. I think it was probably when Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, and her name's going right in my head again.
The
Okay.
female bodyguard.
Nope, it's cool.
Okay.
No, you
Somebody
Okay.
Google.
Yeah, somebody Google it. Sorry, when they're fighting in the battlefield, there's this sort of long running theme now in sort of superhero movies where women are getting more fights and more fight scenes that aren't like necessarily titillation. It's like proper down and dirty fighting, and I love the fact that they were like.
Mandy, you owed me a fiver, I said you'd say this.
Split it. I love the idea of them just fighting, and it wasn't about and suddenly a pop button or whatever goes. It's just like they are absolutely fighting for their lives, and they're fighting for each other, which given the history of these characters, like Scarlet Witch was obviously not nicest when she was first introduced. She was against the Avengers before she joined them. Black Widow's gone through her own nonsense, and like I can see her name in my head, and I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's Okoye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
She didn't like.
Okoye, maybe. Okoye. I don't know.
Sorry. She didn't like Nat when she first met, because she was like sort of hands off the merchandise when she went near T'Challa, and I thought that was really good that again this history that they have, and it doesn't matter because they're fighting together. I love that moment so much.
But just to go back to what Nikki was saying there, if Scarlett Johansson wants to pop the odd little button, I won't be sorry. If you actually do that.
It's another movie.
Yeah.
It's another movie. But
They're
no,
just
it's-
looking for a director for that in the moment.
But no, I really liked that moment. I mean, there was loads of moments that it almost got so dark and so depressing that they managed to pull it back with a like sort of well-timed joke, like you know the arm thing, and even when Bucky picked up Rocket and
held him
started
back.
using them as an
That was a
extended
good
gun,
moment.
Yeah.
I
that
did
was
like
really fun.
Yep.
But in terms of the film, a few surprises in it. Was it Peter Dinklage? Is that who you call him?
Yeah, Peter Dinklage. I didn't know he was going to be in it.
As a dwarf, but not as a dwarf as you could think.
It's like
Yeah.
he's a dwarf, but he's also like 3 times the size of
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
else. It was a nice visual thing.
So he was in it, and he was like he was in charge of the forge, so Thor could create a new hammer.
Axe.
A new hammer axe, I suppose.
It looks far more like Joe. Oh, what's his name? The alien version of Thor.
Not doing that one.
Oh, it's so annoying. It's Quinno Joe or something like that. His name is. He's an alien with like orange and yellow skin, and he has his own version of Mjolnir, which is like a hammer axe, and it looks very much like his hammer axe.
We were talking about this the other day. That's more the axe is more the Allfather, though, isn't it? It's the Allfather
Well,
from something
yeah.
Oh,
else.
that's all
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
So
So for him to swap from the hammer to the axe makes sense.
Yeah, and again they got the power levels for Thor spot on, like they did in Thor Ragnarok. It's showing you how powerful this guy actually is.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that Groot is now a part of Stormbringer because he used his own hand to create this beautiful. I mean, as soon as I seen it sort of form around the metal, my first thought is cosplayers are going to go mental over that.
I can see a lot of LARP weapons getting made in that sort of.
Oh yes,
sort of way.
it's a beautiful looking weapon, and I think seeing Thor with that and immediately going back to Earth, like when you see the Bifrost and then you see Bruce Banner going to use it, oh fuck now basically. The axe just gets flung, and it was such a cathartic moment. Like, oh, he's done it. Like, he's killed him, and then you see he should have aimed for the head. Like, oh yeah.
Double tap.
Double tap.
Yeah.
I can't stress enough the amount of. I'm sure they're going to find a way of fixing this using the time crystal and things like that, but the amount of deaths that's in this is insane.
This is what really surprised me, because I went
main
in,
characters as well.
I went in with an expected list. I was thinking Iron Man and Cap and Thor are probably going to die in this, or the second part of it, permanently, because they're all coming to the end of the time where they'll be able to do these characters.
Oh, the contracts and stuff. I still think that Captain America will die, and like in the comics, Winter Soldier will take over
As
the mantle of
Cap.
Captain America.
Yeah.
Well, they gave Bucky a new name in this movie though, White Wolf.
White Wolf.
So he's now playing.
He becomes a White Wolf, and then White Wolf he becomes
The
Captain
end
America.
of Panther, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She goes to see White Wolf.
Yeah, but they call him White Wolf in this as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if necessarily he'll. In the story that they've told in the MCU, I don't know if he's necessarily going to become Cap, but I also wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Because you even see people, Spider-Man, who's just came into the Marvel side of it, he went as well. So
that's one of the things that's
new. It was all the new and people that still have story arcs are all the ones that went.
Yeah.
So we know that they will somehow fix it.
Yeah, because I can imagine Sony, who own the rights, sort of half the rights to Spider-Man, are sitting there going, "What?"
I was surprised by the tech jump on Iron Man actually to go to nanotechnology.
Yeah,
I would sort of straight jump.
I would say that's my only, a little gripe. I wasn't too sure if I liked the suit in terms of the nanotech. To me, it was too much of a big jump, if you know what I mean.
I don't know. I think it makes sense that Tony Stark will grab onto the newest and most advanced technologies he can as soon as he can. So to me, it's not so much a jump.
But remember, Wakanda's meant to have even more advanced tech than what Tony can, and I don't know if they've got nano.
No,
their stuff is nano technology.
That's probably where it's come from.
Yeah.
So they first thing.
But it just seemed to happen quite quickly.
And Iron Spider-Man was awesome.
Iron Spider-Man was awesome.
Yeah, I've seen there's a Hot Toys version of Spider-Man with I'm not getting them. So,
coming soon?
No, I'm not getting them. And he has the legs coming out of his back, and that wasn't one of the comics. I remember reading the comics. I used to be a big Spider-Man collector. But I was when I saw that the Hot Toy, I was going, I'm not too sure how this is going to play out in the film, but actually what it'll do quite well.
You know that comic died, and it's people hated that. The vast majority of Spider-Man fans went mental about it, going, "No, we don't like this. It's too much like Doc Ock."
But it worked.
I know it works, but that was just when they did it in the comics years ago. People didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it at the time.
And what a film to make you feel old, though. Do you remember that old movie?
This is like the running joke where it says what was the old movie last time?
It was Empire.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be a running gag, because he is so young. I think the other thing about Spider-Man that I picked up straight away, I don't know if you guys did, was the last thing he says is "I don't want to go," which is the last thing that David Tennant's doctor said when he regenerates. And I don't know if that was a deliberate choice or not, but that was the first thing I thought of was, because if it was deliberate, then it was good, because even that one line said by this kid who, as much as everybody else was sort of disappearing and they didn't know what was going on, he's got his spidey sense. He would have been feeling that danger, which other people might not have felt. So already it was devastating because this kid knows and is feeling every single second of this. But that one particular line already packs so much emotional sort of punch that when he says it, it was like a double whammy almost, like, oh my god, he said that line, that particular line. So I don't know if that was a deliberate sort of choice or not, but if it wasn't and people were saying that was amazing, then probably Marvel will be like, it was deliberate.
I think one of my other favourite moments in the film was when Thanos was to get the Soul Stone and he killed off Gamora. That's when you actually see him physically not wanting to do it, but he had to do it to get the stone, and that was just sort of showing his real human side. He was actually crying and everything else and stuff like that, because he actually does love Gamora. But
I had one of those sort of JR in the shower moments. See when he goes back, and I think it's in his mind, and there's sort of like that trolley gate from Gamora's planet and that water field, and she's there as a little girl. And I thought, are they going to do this whole thing's been like, he didn't actually, as he threw it over, the Soul Stone came up, and that's all been just like played out in his mind to get the Soul Stone. I thought they were going to do that, but obviously not.
My theory with that is, again, it's just a theory, but to get the Soul Stone, also had to make that sacrifice, and it's Gamora's soul that's in the Soul Stone. So if that gets destroyed, she comes back. That's what I'm thinking.
I think that's pretty close to my theory as well.
One of the things I was a bit unsure, see the bit where the Scarlet Witch destroys the Soul Crystal. The level of sort of explosion and destruction for it being an Infinity Stone actually being destroyed, I thought that would have taken the planet with it, with the power release that would have come.
But remember, the Scarlet Witch, if you go by the comics, especially some of the Ultimate Series ones, her power levels are through the roof. She could destroy planets. So
was her powers not made by the Mind Stone though? Wasn't that? Was it that mind that wouldn't?
Yeah, it was using the scepter to do experiments on them that in the MCU, the German scientist with a monocle, again, geek fail, forgot his name, but his experiment turned the Maximoffs into what they were.
So there's a certain amount of relation between her and the Mind Stone already. So if she's trying to destroy it, there might be some. I'm totally fan ranking here, but there might be some way of her bringing it right down and making it less of an explosion sort of thing. Plus it was a really emotional.
She's been seen to stop explosions.
Yeah.
It's always been her thing, containing.
Obviously, our powers in the MCU are completely different from what they are in the comics because they come from a completely different place.
I think obviously when it comes to like Tony Stark and Pepper at the very beginning, like saying that
it was good to see her back in it. She's not been in a few films.
Yeah, like the last time she was discussed, it was like they'd broken up, but they didn't really go into great detail about it, and then suddenly she's back in his life, just got engaged, talking about a family and everything. I mean, that was pretty sad, because then you hear her like saying please come back before she cuts out completely. But then you also see this sort of relationship has evolved between Vision and Scarlet Witch, where obviously most of it has happened off screen, but because you've seen the slight moments, the beats in
the cash.
In the meantime, like by the time she needs to kill him, that was a really emotional moment for me as well. And then to make it even worse, she's destroyed him, and then she has to watch him come back to get destroyed even more and be tortured almost, probably. And that, to me, I was like that I felt in my gut, like that poor lass has been through an awful lot. Like her twin died, and when we were watching Ultron the other night, like I could see the way that she played it. It was like she felt when he died. So she's felt that she's lost her parents, she's lost her brother, now she's lost like a partner in life, and geez, it's like out of everybody who disappeared in the movie, she was the only one that kind of looked relieved. Like everybody else was like panicking, what's going on? She just sort of sat there, and there was no real reaction. She just sort of, and I thought, I wouldn't be surprised if she was just relieved to go.
Technically, she's not lost her parents. It's only because they haven't agreed that franchise to come into Marvel
yet. No.
It was the other thing that when Black Panther's sister was working on Vision, what it seemed to be at the last minute of that she managed to download something, so we might not have seen the end of Vision.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
She
thing.
may have him stalled.
Backed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be
She seemed to
interesting.
finish something off before she
Yeah. That's
started
that could
defending
well
herself.
happen. Yeah. So what was there was a good few surprises in this film. A few characters that we never thought were going to see again popped up.
Red Skull.
Red Skull was one of them.
Yeah.
It was good seeing him again. Although it wasn't played, although the voice was close, it was not played by Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
Which was
So he never even came up in the credits. So.
No, it was somebody else that played him, but they done that really well. And
I knew he wasn't dead.
Mm-hmm.
no, that was pretty evident. Like you never know, only until you see the body, they actually think somebody's dead.
And then even then.
Yeah, maybe double tap.
Yeah, it was good seeing him again.
Yeah, I think that was it was a fitting end to his sort of arc. Anyways, he's obviously this really horrible, nasty villain that he's basically now punished for the rest of eternity, being within arm's length of this thing that he wanted so much, and he can't take it because there's nothing.
But he says in the film he realised he shouldn't have taken it. He knows he was wrong. Like he sort of mentioned that in the film. He's saying, "Yeah, I basically got what I deserved," and sort of thing. No, it's not for.
But you wouldn't say that if you didn't. If you had the opportunity to pick it up.
True.
The other thing for me is when you had Doctor Strange sitting there and he's doing that whole back and forth thing. He's like, I just watched like 14 million or 14.6 million endings, and there's only one that we win in. And when he turns to Tony at the end, just before he disappears, and goes, "It was the only way." We know this is the one. It's still on track for the one way they beat him.
Another theory is as well is because you saw Thanos at the end sitting watching sunrise and stuff like that on that planet. I don't know, maybe his human side will sort of, I don't know why I do that, I hate doing that, but his human side his human side, because his love for Gamora will sort of take over, and he'll miss her so much that maybe he'll even try to do something to bring her back, and that might screw up his whole other plans of what he's trying to do, I don't know. But
tries to retcon her death and then messes the whole thing up for himself,
Well, speaking of that, what are your theories for the next movie?
Well, yeah, obviously Captain Marvel's going to play a big part of it, and we've got the film, I would imagine her film coming out first before.
Comes out 8th of March, so probably hear about the 6th.
And then we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is going to be...
Because Hawkeye wasn't in this film, so I imagine they're eventually going to be in the second part as well.
It was mentioned in that film that he went off with Ant-Man.
So
he may be
him and Scott were the way doing something.
Yes, that they may be in the Ant-Man film, so you might see Hawkeye in that. So.
But yeah, I think what you guys were saying, I think it'll be set in the past. They'll do something to try and reset, obviously, time and bring the characters who died. Or I don't think they'll all come back, but I think they'll try and bring as many back as possible. And the ones who are going to be signing new contracts, obviously.
What I think is going to happen is the time crystal will come into Earth, the time stone will reverse time. Everyone who disappeared in that sort of fade away to dust thing at the end will come back, but then other people will be killed for real. And I still think it's my list still kind of stays the same.
Well, as you said, no, it was or it was yourself that said it's a lot of the newer characters that disappeared. Well, a few of the older ones disappeared, but a lot of new characters. So yeah, it'll be the older ones who are trying to bring them back. They'll probably end up dying. We can bring the new ones back. So yeah.
So there's one stinger they could do in it that would just see if they actually had Deadpool in the next Avengers movie.
Well, he mentions Thanos in the trailer, so we wonder how much of a link they'll do throughout that.
He also mentions DC though, so you know.
It's fantastic.
So dark.
So like, for the DC universe.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yep.
That's another video though. No, I think there's a few different theories I have. I think that there is a good chance it being held in the past. I don't know if Captain Marvel will come to our sort of current time, or she'll stay in the past and try and work from there. In that case, we've got something completely different. We're going to have a movie where most of our characters just don't appear for the majority of the movie. There's also the idea that Thanos regrets what he's done and tries to undo it. There's a chance where Iron Man still continues to fight and he'll end up sacrificing himself. I think that's something that's they done the whole almost happy ending thing with him with Pepper, so the idea that he doesn't get that would be quite tragic, but it would complete his story where he's always been terrified of losing this new family that he has in the Avengers, and the idea that he would sacrifice himself for that would be a fitting end to this particular Iron Man and this particular person. So there is a few different ways I think it will go, and I'm probably completely wrong in all of them.
Well, we all had our thoughts of what this film was going to be, and it was completely different in a lot of cases. So
I thought that Thanos was going to be on Earth for most of the movie. I thought the battle was going to be on Earth for most of the movie, and the fact that they kept it all very separate, I thought was a very ambitious choice, but it was the correct one, definitely.
Yeah, one of the things from the trailer that made it look like he was on Earth in the start was it looked like that when the scepter was getting put against the Mind Stone. I always thought that was Thanos doing that, because of the way they edited the clip, but it wasn't. Obviously, it was that Dark Elf.
Ebony Maw.
I have to say, when I was watching the trailers and there wasn't the first stinger, I thought they may just go with no stingers, and I would have been happy with that, and then just left us with no answers and all the questions. And I got to that point, and I turned to Mandy at the time and I goes, you know what, if they don't put a stinger in this, I will love them more for it, because that's a big choice to make.
But then again,
giving you a hook to anything else.
The stinger that was in it, it's only real geeky people will get that. They won't know what the symbol was for Captain America and stuff like that, so the general person watching these films will be going, what's this? No.
Only 2 people walked out on the closing credits this time. That was different.
Has anybody not seen a Marvel film? They've all got stingers. Why do you walk out?
But this time,
we had quite a few left.
Quite a few.
I must have been, it was Thursday night, so it must have been a geeky cinema film. But
nobody left till the end of the sort of like the main animated credit bits, and then when it went into the black screen with a few folk got up and left. It was almost half the cinema left at that point.
Which is ridiculous, because it's been 10 years, guys. We know what's going to happen. So I think, in a way, like, there's something happened in the stinger that's going to take us forward, but I don't think it necessarily answers any questions more than it asks, because unless you see it, you didn't really know if Maria Hill or Nick Fury survived this sort of dusting away, and then you see that they don't, which is even more like sort of heartbreaking.
Oh, him disappear was quite funny.
I
won't spoil that one, but it was quite funny.
I'm
if you're a fan of Samuel
so
Jackson, you'll understand.
You've just spoiled it, because what else are they going to do? I think for it being that extra gut punch, and then just something to make it a wee bit more like sort of. No, I like that. That was funny. It was almost like, oh my god, like, I'm glad they done that. I'm very glad they done that. But yeah, I mean, I think this, when they said that these 2 movies were going to turn everything upside down, I didn't realise how right they were. Like, this, I genuinely don't know. There's so many theories and everything seems possible.
So many directions they can go with this.
Again, see the stinger at the end, when they did that whole thing, they're driving along. I didn't even think when I was watching it that they're going to show them getting disappeared. I thought it's past that point, they're driving along, that car swerves out in front of them, they're going to get ambushed again like they did the last time those 2 were in the car. And no, that's just that, but that's what's happening. Oh, there was a pilot in the helicopter and all that sort of stuff. I took me by surprise even in that.
I can imagine, I mean, it started off in Africa and it's just spread out over the world, so it's not an instant thing, and then obviously spread out across the universe. But yeah, so who do you think's going to save the day?
Captain America thinks he's still alive.
Yeah.
I think he'll have a big part to play in the second one.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about the possibility of that sort of.
Guardians are still, for the most part, still alive.
No, they're not. It's just Rocket.
So it was, it's just Rocket.
Who else do you need to save the world? He'll have an eye, an arm.
That's right. I forgot about that, it's just Rocket.
When he pulls out the eye.
Yes.
I knew that was coming back into it.
Because that was the conversation he had with Thor.
To smuggle it out.
You might want to watch that first.
And when he had that conversation with Thor, and Thor was saying, well, I've lost my mother, my father, my brother, my world, the rest of my people, my best friend. He didn't mention Jane, and he didn't mention the Warriors 3 either, which I was like, you lost them too, sort of thing. But yeah, the fact that he's lost so many people, and then he says, well, what else have I got to lose? And then Rocket says, well, I've got quite a lot to lose, and at the end he does. He loses them all. Well, he doesn't know he's lost them all yet. He just knows that this is going to, this is absolutely heartbreaking. I think the only person he's seen go was Groot. Person, but you know.
Yeah.
So it's the second time he's watched that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that Mantis is gone. He doesn't know that Drax is gone. He doesn't know that Gamora's gone, and he doesn't know Peter's gone. And I think out of the Guardians, I think the only one that's probably going to stay dead is Gamora. But there's also the conversation where Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is mostly around Gamora's storyline, so I don't know how they're going to play that.
Yeah, I don't think she's gone.
Yeah.
No.
Mainly because it's the whole thing with Thanos.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing Thanos cares about in the world is gone, and he's going to want it back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll find a way of bringing her back.
Yeah.
I think
they
something
might
will
bring her
evolve
back,
with
but I don't know if she'll
Thanos.
stay alive. Yeah, but Nebula's with
Nebula's still alive, yeah.
So it's literally, is it just them two on Titan?
Yeah, because everybody else disappeared.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yep. So interesting.
So Nebula's probably going to try and find a way to make one of the ships work so they can get back.
Yep.
Do that. So I think on the whole, we thought the film was terrible.
Wouldn't see that again. What time is it? Can you see it?
But no, highly recommended. If you're a fan of Marvel or any of these sort of films in general, or even have a passing interest, it's probably one of the. Now I always say maybe Winter Soldier's been my favourite film so far in the sort of Marvel universe. In terms of just an end-to-end film, it's again pretty much flawless in the sense of the story, the characters, everything. They're very much a comic book film, and this is in the same vein, very much a comic book film, and how they've managed to. Was it Russo brothers that directed this one? How they managed to get that larger cast and get it all in and all working really well. It's something that Joss Whedon's famous for, but they've managed to do it even better, I think, in a way.
They got the pacing, they got all the characters are good
The
screen.
humours,
Yeah.
so they kept that balance really well.
Yeah.
Yep. They needed the humour to balance out the absolute soul-crushing, depressing moments in it. But yeah, it's such a phenomenal movie, and I think a lot of that comes from just how confident they are in these characters now. These are fully realised, 10 years in the making characters who we already love.
Yeah.
Again, it's picked up a ball from Babylon 5 and it's kept running with it now. Bab 5 did that 5-year story arc, and it proved, but it proved that an audience could deal with something that wasn't just 45 minutes an episode, there you go, or movies had to be just standalone, that's it. It's shown that the audience nowadays has evolved to want this sort of movie where things keep going and keep at a good level. Because there's the old trope of you got the first movie that's good, the second movie's alright, and then the third movie's bloody awful.
They've managed to keep the quality up. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't say every film they've released has been amazing or anything like that, but for the most part the quality has been
the MCU
great.
movies, even their worst movies, are still better than a lot of what's going out there. Anyway, we're grading on a curve. We're grading on the fact that most of their movies are phenomenal and really well done, so when they're a little less spectacular, then it really shows. But even at that,
well, they say that about Iron Man 3 was their worst shot, and yet it was still a success.
I thought Iron Man 3 was one of the better ones as well.
I liked it.
Again, it was very much a comic book type film.
But when it's put out into the world, it's not. It's seen as.
I thought Iron Man 2 was worse than Iron Man 3 personally.
Nothing's as bad as the Wolverine where they had
Deadpool.
But that
wasn't really a Marvel. That was
no, I know, but that's the sort of thing I'm on about. I mean, when these sort of things are left in the hands of people who love it, the people who are making it are as big a geeks as the people who want to watch it. That's when it works, not when it's the people trying to make a buck on it.
It's the one thing that Disney do well, they get the right directors in. It's like they do with Star Wars, they try and get the right directors in and try and make the storylines better and the whole arc behind it and everything else. So I've got to give Disney the due. They tend to take chances on certain directors.
Yeah.
People that aren't like big directors aren't proven in a way and stuff
Well,
like that.
the guy that done Black Panther was an indie director. He'd never had anything that massive before, and to get thrown in at the deep end like that and still come out with what is a phenomenal movie.
Yeah,
is-
you look at Rogue One. Well, Gareth Edwards has made maybe 1 or 2 sort of indie films as well and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and he gets thrown into Star Wars and
Yeah.
to be one of the best Star Wars
Best
films
Star
ever
Wars
made.
film, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
so no, I like the way they take the chances and that. Doesn't always work, but yeah.
Yeah, and then as you were saying about like, I don't think anyone who's watched this up to this point is going to not have seen this movie. So if
Yeah.
they have watched it and they haven't seen the movie, they're mental.
Yeah. So yeah, if
Just
you're
read it for yourself.
if you're a fan, you have to see it. And
Yeah.
I would say you have to
Several
see it in the
times.
cinema. You really do have to see it in
Yeah.
the cinema. It's good.
It's
So
definitely
when are we
one of
going to
these
see
ones
it,
where I
Trudy?
want to go see.
Yeah, I want to see it again. I really
Well,
want to.
Yeah.
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 I literally was going to go this morning before we did this.
Yeah.
But we've got Deadpool 2 coming up in the next couple of
And
weeks.
Solo.
Then Han Solo a few weeks after that.
Mm,
And then, yeah.
Are you
that's-
excited?
And those trailers are getting better. and
Not
better.
as excited as I'm about the next Marvel ones.
Yeah.
I don't know, that solo trailer.
Solo
now
trailer
is-
does
Yeah.
look good. It looks
It
like in a
does look good.
similar vein to Rogue One in the sense that the grittiness of it and stuff like that looks fairly similar.
Well,
So.
speaking of Marvel though, the next Netflix one will be Nick Cage. Season 2 is coming out on June 22nd, which is my birthday. So I feel like they're gifting
Luke
it to
Cage.
Luke Cage.
You said Nick Cage.
Did I?
Yeah.
No, I thought she said
Nick
Cage.
Cage in the bad seeds.
We'll rewind this video back just to make sure. We'll,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
Nick
she
Cage,
said Luke Cage.
Did I say
It's
Luke
Luke
I'm
Cage?
pretty sure you said Luke Cage.
Yeah.
I said Luke Cage.
So I think the next video for the group discussion will probably be Deadpool 2.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's
so.
gonna be a must.
We'll definitely have to do
2 weeks' time,
solo.
2 weeks, yeah.
We'll have to do solo as well.
Yeah. The thing about this video is, and again, that's again why we're stipulating spoilers, is the film's not released yet in certain parts of the country for at least another week or 2.
Mm.
No, it's not country, world.
Yeah.
Although they did bring it forward, it was supposed to be May 4th. The reason they were going to do May 4th in America is because that would have been 10 years on the dot
Yeah.
to when Iron Man first came out. But then obviously Robert Downey Jr. done something amazing where he was saying, "Oh, can I see this early?" On Twitter. I don't know if you've seen that Twitter exchange. He tweeted Marvel, the Marvel account, and says, "Hey, can I see this movie earlier? Any earlier?" And Marvel responded, "Anything for you, Mr. Stark? Would you like a few friends?" And they've done like a wee video of all the Avengers, and he says, "Yeah, how about the entire world?" And then Marvel went, "Okay, you've got it. It's coming out on the 27th of April
Nice.
instead." So it was like, I was probably totally like promote that was like they were going to do that, but I liked the idea that Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark and was like, no, we want it sooner.
No, but there's parts of the world that hasn't came out. 'Cause,
Is it?
one of our friends
Oh,
says
Mate
it's
Corey.
Mate Corey says
Is
it's
it
not
not
out for
out?
another week. Yeah.
He doesn't get it for the
Yeah,
week.
it's always the way. A lot of films
Yeah.
do that. It's like we're not getting
Sorry, buddy.
for a month after it's released or something like
yeah,
that. So,
That's
So
going to be
you-
difficult
You
to
stay on
avoid
Facebook
spoilers.
for that one, yeah.
yeah. That's,
Oh.
well, welcome to everyone else's problem.
it's unusual for the UK not to get movies almost immediately these days, but
Yeah.
what you
But
gonna
no,
do?
I think we all loved it. Go and see it.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll
and
see
then
again.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure we all loved it. I'm not sure
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
any thought in
Yeah.
this.
and, Deadpool 2 will be the next one.
Yep. And we'll see you then.
Yeah, see you then. Remember, subscribe, share, like, get
Comment.
invite your friends to our Facebook group, YouTube channels. You know, and if you've got your own things that you love, if you've been to see the film, post up videos as well. Give us your own thoughts, and we'll add that to the groups and everything else.
Yep.
So until then.
See you
See you
next
soon.
time.